I'm not sure about this episode. This is
right,
going to be a train wreck.
I'm used to it. I'm on your podcast. Ready? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Welcome to the Bone Zone. No, wait, hold on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Welcome to May the Zoo Be With You, America's favorite TCG podcast. I am joined tonight by the one, the only, the zookeeper, Mitchell Murray. Wait a minute. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Welcome to May the Zoo Be With You, America's most entertaining and most fantastic TCG podcast, where we always proofread our intros so we don't do 3 takes. I am joined tonight by I don't know what to call you tonight.
I knew what your intro was. I'm trying my best to be excited, but I knew what it was.
I love my intro tonight.
I called this one on the phone with you. I know you had already thought of it, but I also gave you the idea.
No, you can't. I can't have already had the idea and you given me the idea.
Well, I said it before you told me it, so either it was my idea or we both came up with it. Welcome everybody to May the Zoo Be With You, your TCG podcast. We're super glad that you're here. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and join us along this wild ride of alternative trading card game.
Yeah, yeah, it's a great ride. You two can go bald, fat, and wish for death at 40.
We're glad you're here so that we're not alone. Speaking of being alone, Mitch's anniversary was tonight.
I think it was his birthday. I think it was his wife's birthday.
Oh, one of those things. It's
one of us listens to our other friends. The other one of us is Louie.
All right.
Happy birthday to Mrs. Nickel.
We got to get into this because there's a lot.
There's some things happening.
We're going to talk about the 3 banned and restricted announcements that Flesh and Blood had this week. And
are we not counting the new tournaments as the 4th?
We're going to talk about the 125,000 Monarch boxes. We're going to talk about the Magic Pro Tour. We're going to talk about the Pokemon Illustrator card, and then we're going to do Metazoo, but in 1 minute. So, part 1: banned and restricted announcement. Banned and restricted announcement. Banned and restricted announcement. My favorite reaction to this whole thing was Brendan Patrick's tweet, who's driving here.
And so like it's funny because like when this kept happening, when they released the first statement, I was like, well, I didn't think they were going to do anything. They didn't. They left the door like weirdly open for a banning very close to Pro Tour, but like, whatever. Then somebody was like, hey, they changed the announcement. I'm like, no, I already read it. So like, no, they changed it. I'm like, well,
Starbucks banned now. No, they didn't actually do that. That'd be funny though.
They should have. And then somebody was like, hey, none of this math is right. No. And none of these events are right.
We were in the Discord server and like we were all trying to do the math, and then it didn't work out. And then
the math didn't work.
Then all of a sudden it worked, and everybody was like, "What's the difference?" And we're like, "Oh no, these events have battle hardens that are classic constructed, but they weren't there." But when we started doing the math, which is what the issue was,
and
so
then they added events to make more battle hardened, just presumably to LL Starvo.
No, okay. So that was my reaction, and like I'm gonna play the devil's advocate here. Somebody was like, Louis, imagine if you instead just looked at that as more opportunities for people to play the game. I was like, okay, but like let's be real here. This felt like it was just.
I can't help but notice they added the events like 10 minutes after the ban and restricted announcement, where they basically said, "Please, Living Legend, bail me out. I don't want to ban a hero for 11 days before the Pro Tour."
Okay, so let's back up. You and I in private conversations, I know this about you, and I've already said it. We both said that we didn't think they were going to ban anything.
Facts.
And I think probably both of us thought that was the right way to go. I mean, I think there's Awakening's a big card.
If you kill my girl Briar, you got to give everybody else equal treatment.
Yeah. I think that the community kind of was like, we're done with Bravo, but it's also just kind of the way it is. Just let it ride. I particularly was just like, look, we can't have another ban. Like I don't want to see another ban. Like
no.
That's how I was.
I despise that argument with the fury of 10,000 suns.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like a month and a half ago, one person named Dr. James White, Esquire, Suffolk, said that we will not view Living Legend
I know.
as a way to balance the game. It is not a balancing mechanism.
Yep.
And now they're like, you know what?
I get it. No, listen,
maybe.
I get it. Now there's like, we're going to add events. And so this is,
Yeah,
I want to say this first. I think Living Legend is a mistake. Like it creates this problem. Like let's back up. If Living Legend wasn't a thing,
we back up and we're going to be the ocean. Relax.
If Living Legend wasn't if Living Legend wasn't a thing
in the beginning of time,
there would be no issue. Like we
God.
wouldn't be having these conversations. And now I want to say another thing. People are like, Louis, all they have to do is add an event or add a format that's for Living Legend heroes and it will all be okay. And I was like, wait, what are we talking about now? Like, we can't even get Commoner officially supported. When are we going to have Living Legend? Oh, it's amazing.
So this is not related to that, but I'm going to go on record. The Land Before Time is the most depressing movie ever made.
Why? That was
that like the mom dies like in the first like half of the movie. That was terrible.
Spoiler alert.
That's like older than me.
Yeah, that's saying something.
Like I guess I am fine with Living Legend. I am. I like it. I think it's a cool concept. Yeah. What I am. Hold on, Boo Boo. You are backing up. Now you got to relax it up. Remix.
We need a third person on this podcast. It doesn't work.
I can have my alter ego. That's
what you need is more ego.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, like, that's a good one. You know, I think Living Legend is fine, but like, if you change what it means every 2 months, it means nothing.
Well, like Living Legend, the essential element of Living Legend and counting the points, you have to have a set number of available points for it to matter. And if you're just going to add events, then you obviously didn't test the system. You didn't
no pressure test going on.
There's no stress test to the system. If you're just gonna like a willy-nilly add events, then it like the testing of whatever system you did doesn't matter.
I was offended. I thought they were going to call me to have a Bellhard in Charleston. I'll be honest with you. I was ready for the call. I mean, like, you know, I don't know. Like, I think so. Let me go back to this. Like, I think Living Legend is a really cool idea and concept. I really do. I like the idea of it giving.
I agree.
Of like, it builds into the lore of Flesh and Blood. Like, there's these heroes are fighting, and like this person has climbed the ladder, and now they're peak hero.
I agree. It's a cool idea awesome. And concept.
But if you're going to tell me that it is explicitly not for balancing, you then can't send out a banned and release announcement like we just got.
Yeah. So I think like the no ban thing is fine. What I wasn't okay with was the no ban, the kicking the can down the road. They
didn't even really kick it down the road. They basically said, I'm going to force Briar out through Living Legend status. I'll add events until I decide I can't anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they banned, like, part of me is like, you guys just like have the courage and tell everybody he's going to be banned before Pro Tour. Fine.
I don't know. I still don't like, I'm still of the thing of like, let's just let it ride out.
Well, I mean, like they are. It just makes no sense.
Yeah. I agree. I think the best, in my opinion, the best case scenario of this announcement would have been, we're not making any changes now, but on May 5th, whatever, we will be hitting these targets, Awakening and whatever, if Bravo does not hit Living Legend status.
Well, no, I mean, they seem to be saying that they don't think those cards are a problem. They think Briar's a problem.
Bravo.
Yeah. My poor girl.
You're still hurt.
Never forget, never forgive. Like,
art.
I miss Briar. I mean, like they don't seem to think Awakening, Old and Oak. They don't seem to think those cards are a problem. Oak and Old, I'm sorry. They don't think those cards are a problem. They think it is a problem with Bravo. Now I'll leave it up to you, and I tend to think that's right. Now I will say, like, all the pro players I talked to were like, "This is not going to end well because without Starvo."
Yes.
Viserai runs amok.
Somebody told me today that in order to fix the format, and this sounds like a Desolator Magic video where he's talking about Magic's standard format, but somebody told me in order to fix the format, you have to basically get rid of Prism, Viserai, and Starvo. I was like, oof. That's big.
So basically, let's just go back to crew.
Let's go back to the crew meta where we had 7 years to play test and design.
what I think the real play would have been is just never ban anything. Let it run. Let it run. Let it go nuts. Like a full power Briar can handle Bravo, can handle Starvo. Chain, an unhinged Chain could probably handle this meta. Like they nerfed everything, then we're like, all right, good luck, God bless these other guys, and now we are where we are.
Okay, let's let the rest of the community just talk about the specific cards and that kind of stuff, because they are
in
all
the comment section below. So Louis
no, I don't care about that. That would be great.
Oh, stop it!
Twitter is on fire. I mean, people who I never thought would tweet a negative word about LSS are basically like, everything's on fire. Who's running the ship? Like people
I will
who
admit
I thought,
that,
go ahead. It baffled me.
And
so
go ahead.
And so those people are talking about that. I want to talk about from a confidence standpoint as store owners, from a confidence in and investors and collectors, from a confidence in the stop it, you distract me when you do that crap. Confidence in the attitude and announcement. My confidence was just like, wait, what is happening?
So,
like, what is why?
Funny,
how is there this bad of communication even internally? Like, we've criticized their communication to the United States, and we've said they need a U.S. representative. Episode 3 of this podcast, we said the number one thing that Flesh and Blood needs is a U.S. representative, but their internal communication now. It's just like, what is happening?
Well, clearly, nobody proofread this. Like
3 times.
Can you imagine the poor soul that had to hit refresh on that sucker?
Well, and it's not like this was like hey guys, we have an emergency ban and restricted thing.
No,
this has to have been in the works for a month at least, right? Like, we've had enough wait time. Anyway, for me, this was like, oh my gosh,
so
what is
here's
happening?
What's really funny, and like this is something I just flat out missed as a semi-pro player, not a pro player.
One of the 20,000 pro players.
Yeah, I'm like 20,001.
Yeah.
Like this mattered to me, but like a little bit. Like this did not like make me go like, cranky. And then then a lot of people who I respect who are pro players, I'm in a chat group with like 6 or 7 of them that are like really good.
Yeah.
And that chat was mighty spicy that night.
Yeah.
And like this really, like you saw it from the guys who run Arsenal Pass, right? You saw it from Brendan. Like, I don't think I've ever heard him say anything bad about Fab ever in his existence ever. I didn't know he could. Didn't know that was in his soul. But like, I think part of it is just like the good players versus the great players versus obviously the good players like myself. They are like, wait, you want me to prepare for 2 metas, one of which is a complete mystery, and the other is what I've been dealing with for the last 6 months. And you're going to tell me that I have the new meta 11 days before the most important event in Flesh and Blood history. I
have struggled with this a lot this week.
Well, you struggle a lot, period, I would say.
I think that
was good.
This somehow, there's a lot of my conversation is a lot of, hey, where's the value for a casual player? We've talked about that a lot. But like in my mind, they have now taken this is the competitive play. This is the level that you need to be a competitive player, and now it's up here. And like I like if you look at Facebook, there's like people who are like, I'm not going to the Pro Tour anymore.
Well, I mean, like,
man, like
I
why
disagree. I think it's the exact opposite. I think the meta could be a mess.
No, but the whole point of this, and I do value this. Listen, let me start with this. I do think it's a valuable idea, and that other TCGs have used in the past to say the best players will be able to figure out the meta, and then it's a hey, if you want to be a professional player for this game, you have to be at this caliber, and it's something to work towards. My issue with that. And people talking about Magic the Gathering pro players who get rent houses together for a month before the pro tour,
bingo,
in order to like really play and really practice for a month together. But my point, and like I value that, and I think like yes, like Flesh and Blood is a competitive game; it should be that way. But my counterpoint to my point, and that is like we're not there yet. We're not there. Like you have to let these people who are passionate about your game learn and go into that. And there aren't houses of players who can get together and do that yet. We're not at that scale. This is where I just think we have a scaling issue again for Flesh and Blood.
The people who got totally wrecked in this, like the people who got totally, there's two groups that got totally big wrecked in this. The first ones that gets like decimated are the really good players without a team.
Yeah.
Because like the teams are going to be practicing nonstop.
Yeah.
The meta. If you are relying on your local scene to go and compete and play, no chance. None. That's a brand new meta. You have no idea.
Yeah.
And I think like, frankly, like I first saw this, I was like, oh, somebody in Florida is going to win this thing. Like that Florida scene.
Yeah.
Hyper competitive, really good stores. Obviously not as good as mine or Bill's store, but like right one tier below me and Bill, I would say.
My mind's on New Zealand. My mind's on New Zealand.
Oh, stop it. Nobody. If you're from New Zealand,
Starbo's not going to be there.
Seconds.
They had to. Yeah, that's why my money's on New Zealand. That's why they let him live in legend, because they knew that New Zealand couldn't figure out how to play against Starvo.
I think somebody from Florida is going to take this home now. I guess because like they play nonstop. They're probably you can make. I think you can. I'll say it. They're the best players in the world outside of Charleston, South Carolina, and me obviously. But like, and they play nonstop, and they have a great community down there. So that's the first people that got wrecked are people who are very good but without a team. And the second,
can I guess the second?
This yeah.
Can I guess the second? The international people.
Yeah.
Who now have to bring
a billion decks.
Their entire Flesh and Blood collection to America.
Because you could also tell me a story where they're like, okay, Bravo didn't hit Living Legend, so he's going to be out of the meta, but now without Oakenhold. And you're like, wait. Like,
yeah.
What?
We have no clue. It is a complete... This is where I said they kicked it down the road. Because... Like, and even in the article, they were like, "Look, we want the Pro Tour to be a fresh meta." But they didn't. Like, they said that, so obviously something's going to change. They are either going to ban something, or Starvo is going to hit Living Legend. Like, one of those two things is going to happen.
I don't get it.
Unless that didn't pass the 3 edits of the ban and restricted announcement. They didn't mean to have that in there, but like, I don't know. Anyway, not the best look for Fab, in my opinion.
Well,
and like
it keeps going.
Like, not the best look for Fab, in my opinion, in the way that like I didn't want to see anything banned, and they just managed to continue to upset people.
They need somebody who does PR. This isn't rocket surgery. They need somebody who does PR.
It's not rocket surgery?
It's not rocket surgery. It's a saying.
No, it's not.
It's absolutely a saying.
It's not rocket science, or it's not heart surgery.
No, you combine them and it's rocket surgery. Put in the comments below if you've heard that before.
I need a rocket surgery gift for our Discord server.
I mean, like, they need somebody who does. How does this was not written 30 minutes? Oh God, I hope it wasn't written 30 minutes before somebody hit enter.
Yeah,
this needed like how how do we not know what? Like, how does this get through people?
I don't know.
That the events were wrong, the points were wrong. Like, how does this get through?
I don't know. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's move on.
It's also like you guys, like Magic just released a Pro Tour event.
Well, that's
you have competition now.
We'll get there. No, we're gonna
Act
get there.
like it.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Act
Before
like
we
it.
get there today. To add, so anytime you have something that is received negatively from a community of your people, typically what you want to do is give something that is positively received. So of course we had the Monarch print run numbers that also came out this week. So part 2, Monarch, 125,000 boxes.
Might not be 1K this week. My money is not on Monarch to 1K this week.
I know where you stand on this.
I think Monarch might not hit 1K this week.
Let's do this. Can I help navigate this conversation? Let's say,
aye, Captain.
Let's say that we are the week before, like a couple weeks before Monarch, 2 weeks, a month before Monarch, and they come out and say, "Hey, everyone, the Monarch I don't think at that time that we knew the Crucible print run. We hadn't had any of the print run numbers, but pre-order season had started with Monarch. If they had come out and said, "Hey, everyone, the Monarch print run will be somewhere between 3 and 5 times the print run of Crucible of War, first edition," what would your reaction have been?
Great. Fantastic.
Me too. I think that was an acceptable print run number. I think 125,000 boxes was a very, very good and acceptable print run number. And I have no issue with the number of boxes printed. I wanted to get that out there. Now, that's not what happened. What did happen is we had pre-orders of stores, of everyone, of partner stores in Channel Fireball, and pre-orders of $500 to $600 for Monarch First Edition. At the time, I looked it up. At the time, Crucible of War was sitting at around $600, between $600 and $700.
Where's that today?
Yeah,
a little bit less than that actually.
Today it's a little less. So to me, so for people who weren't there at that time, I don't think that there's any issue with this 125,000 number. Nobody, like the people are like, this is fine. This is great. It's a little higher than I thought, but this is fine. But for people who were there in that realm, especially stores, this, in my opinion, feels really bad. This is a more, from my opinion, more than this is an issue of number of boxes. This is an issue of conversation that should have happened.
The rumor came out after Monarch that Channel Fireball it gets as many boxes as distribution combined. That was the rumor I've heard from several people, and I told them all they were crazy. It turns out I was crazy because that is how I can get to this number. Right, the number is about 3.3 times Crucible. So you give distribution a third of the run, Channel Fireball a third of the run, SCG a third of the run, and you increase distribution internationally a little bit, and you get to your number.
Okay. I don't think Star City got a third of the run.
Why?
No, there's no way.
Why?
Anyway, continue.
Okay.
Your number is more than a whole, which is one point that I was going to make.
Well, yes, because it went up by 3.3, so it went up by 3.3.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Then you wouldn't phrase it as a third of the run. But sure, go ahead. Continue.
So, put in the comments below if you followed along and you're smarter
How much
than
have
Louis.
you had to drink tonight? I know this announcement didn't.
It's like, it's not that. It's like you guys are doing past my bedtime again.
Okay, continue.
And I said that there's no chance they would give Channel Fireball that much power over their company.
Yeah,
I did. I was wrong.
Yeah.
And like, this is what happens when you do that. I should have looked it up. I think I got like 5% more boxes, I think. Maybe a little bit less than that. Of of Monarch compared to Crucible first. And keep in mind, Crucible had 2 waves. Only us OGs were carrying it during the first wave of Crucible.
Right.
All you fat cat whales hadn't come into the game yet. All you jerks who run up the price to $1 billion and bought every distributor out of everything, you guys were a tinkle in my eye. It was me, Bill, and Jason.
I didn't even have a YouTube channel then.
God, those were the good old days before you.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, this was before the jerks came in.
Yeah.
And like, I miss those days. I do.
You didn't know me.
That's why I miss them. You know, so like, but I got roughly the same amount of Monarch and Crew. And so when I got my box, it was like, oh, same amount. Okay. Similar print run, maybe 20% more. Yeah. And remember the games that distribution played with Monarch. They held boxes back. They know this. Some partner stores held boxes back. Remember that the stores on the West Coast were told the night of delivery that they're not going to get the boxes that they were allocated.
Yeah.
Let alone ordered.
Yep.
They didn't get the boxes they were promised by distribution. I want somebody to help me understand how we increased the print run 3.3 times and we couldn't take care of LGSs that have ordered and been allocated. I want somebody to explain that to me because I have my own theories. A bunch of jerks that work in distribution held back boxes. A bunch of partner stores were too busy creating FOMO and raising the price, even though they knew damn well the print one was astronomical.
Yeah.
Because they did not get allocated what I got allocated.
Right. Yeah. I hear you. And like, I feel for you. Like you came on the first time you were on the channel was right at Monarch release. And you were so passionate about the game and what they were doing for game stores. And this is, it's frustrating to me because that's why I started playing Fab. Was because of what they were saying about the LGS. Now there was an investment side of it too at the very beginning, but the more I looked into the company, whatever, like that's why I started playing Fab. This is why. And I hear that. I also think there's a terrible side of this that affect the consumers. That like I get it. It's consumers' desire, but if you take a third of the print run and you just remove it and put it into their hands, and now Fireball dictates the price of whatever it is. Like this could easily have been solved by just saying, "Hey, everyone, we're not disclosing print run numbers, but we did increase the print run. This is the by 3.5 times or whatever it is." You don't have to give us the app, but you can let us know. You can let the consumer know that there was a change so that the consumer doesn't get burned. And I would venture to say that the average price purchased of a Monarch box was about $350. I think that would be my guess, that from the beginning to the end, the average price would be about $350 until the tank. And that sucks as a consumer. That
you know what? I mean, there's two things. A, shame on those stores. My boxes in store were $100. I steal your wrapper. My boxes online were $150.
Yeah, but I don't think that's fair. I think that's fair.
Because like,
no. Hold on, that's not fair.
Let me be clear here. If you're selling to your local customers at $350 a box, you're an asshole. I'll use it that time.
I don't think that's fair.
Why?
Look, because that was the price. That was the market price.
I don't care. I don't care. They're not my boxes.
Then you're calling Rudy an asshole. Then.
Yeah, like if he's selling for that price, then yes.
He sold it like $400 or $500.
That's an asshole move. I love you, Rudy, still, but like here's my point. They're not my boxes. They're my customers' boxes that I've been entrusted to distribute. They're not my boxes. I'm the middleman in this. I'm the one that provides the service. They're not mine. I don't own. I should only own them for as little of time as possible if it's that hot of a product. It's my customers' boxes that a distributor and a company have entrusted to me. I should not gouge my customers.
I think that is fair if that is what like Metazoo said that they said we want boxes to be $100 for first edition that came out CN1, and they held, if that is what the company asks for, I think that is true. But let me make a counter argument to you. When the entire when you don't know your boxes, when you don't know how many boxes you're going to get, and Channel Fireball is rapidly selling out at $400, $500 a box, whatever they were, what, I don't remember exactly how much they're selling at. When they are rapidly selling out at $400 or $500 a box, and when all that's going on as a store, I don't think that you can sweat the store because of unlimited. Because hold on, let me finish. First off, I didn't have a store back then, right? Okay, like I didn't have a store back then. All my boxes were bought from the secondary market. I sold my box openings for $350. Like I took a loss on that, but I couldn't, like, people were excited to buy box openings at $350. They felt like they were getting a good deal.
I don't mind that you sold them at that price. I don't. You got your secondary market. No. And I also think there's a difference. I do think there's a small difference between in-store and online customers, which is like a slight carve out for Rudy. I don't think Rudy should have charged what he charged. I still love you, Rudy. He knows this. I can't hate anybody who loves Taco Bell as much as I do. It's like it's a hard law in my life. But listen, I charged $99 in my store for Everfest. And my customers bought it. You know why? Because I charged them $99 for Monarch.
Yeah, 100%.
And like,
I'm not arguing that you shouldn't have done that. You had 1 million boxes. Like, I can see you not selling for that for online, but in store, I totally agree with you. Your customers also took a risk on Alpha when you were selling Alpha.
Yeah,
so they deserve that. But my point is that when boxes are literally do you remember that? It was like every single day they would put up more boxes on Channel Fireball and raise the price, and they would still sell out like instantly. So as a store, I feel like because of the lack of communication, because of what was happening in the market, I don't think you can fault stores online. I'll give you that. I don't think you can fault stores online for matching, or even a lot of them were beating the price that Channel Fireball was selling it. Channel Fireball was setting the price point. Like they were setting the price point, and there was no accountability from LSS and no accountability to protect the consumer, me at that time, to protect the consumer and my viewers on this channel. There was no accountability to protect them, and that's what I'm frustrated by. That they knew that the print run was 3.3 times. They did nothing to hold their partners accountable. That's my frustration.
Agreed.
You can convince me Rudy also didn't know that the print run was increased.
So let me be very clear here. I would bet my life on that, because that dude's been buying Monarch like his life depends on it.
Yeah.
And brother's got some bags.
And if I were Rudy, I would be absolutely furious.
I were Rudy, I'd be I don't know if you can punch a hole through the wall or the Magic the Gathering cases. I don't know which is easier, but like that's what I would punch a hole through.
Because listen, like if you're Rudy and you got, let's say Rudy got 1,000 bundles of Crew, right? Like that's what he took the risk on or whatever. And then they were like, hey, he had sold out, he had done a lot. And they're like, hey, we've got, 2,000 bundles worth of Monarch for you. I think that's what, I don't remember exactly what he sold, but I feel like it was 2,000.
I'm not a patron.
You'd be like, yeah, because I've done a ton for the game. Of course, they're giving me more product. Right? Like,
you think they should give more product people who've done more for the game?
I do. No, I do.
Wow.
Yep. I want to go back to I don't have any issue with the number of boxes. The game was rapidly growing. I think this is within my realm of like they're still respecting print numbers, like 32,000 fables. It doesn't seem like that much of a number to me.
3,200.
3,200 fables doesn't seem like that much of a number to me. People are comparing it to Fallen Empires. I don't think that this is that. I don't like. I just don't like. There's unlimited. Like I don't know.
Calling it right now. Mark it down. George's big prediction.
No way.
Which is all but guaranteed. Way less boxes of Unlimited than first edition.
Nope. Too much volume of singles for unlimited selling.
Want to bet a box of Monarch?
No. I am actively trying to trade all my Monarch for Crew. I'm actively trying to trade 4 boxes of Monarch for 1 box of Crew. I want nothing to do with Monarch. It makes me sad. But like this proves that they went to this big box store in Channel Fireball and not the LGS.
I love that they're like, I will never go to Walmart or Target. That is beneath us. But I will give a third of my print run to Channel Fireball. like what is the difference? I would much rather them given a third of their print run to Amazon, Walmart, Target, GameStop
to sell at MSRP to their consumers for
would have been so much better than what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine if they said to Walmart or Target, I'm going to give you these boxes if you display them at MSRP instead of going to Channel Fireball? Imagine how much more exposure they would have gotten, how much better the price action would have been. Imagine how different the story feels if that is the case. Yep. Boxes would have hit 150 maybe on release day, 160 maybe on release day.
It would be very similar to the current market climate.
Yeah. Like we're going to talk about Wilderness at the end, Metazoo Minute. It would have felt like the Wilderness release.
Yeah.
Which feels great. You would have had dumpers dumping and a steady increase.
Yep.
Instead, we had a nosedive, and the market went along with it.
Yeah, and I mean, you want to know the big issue too? Take a look at the amount of money available in the market. If you have 100, let's say, of the 125,000 boxes, let's say 100,000 of them were active in the market, right? Times an average price point of $350 per box. That's $35 million in boxes. $35 million market share. But the real market share, if you remove that, the amount of money that would still be in our market at 100,000 boxes, let's say they sold for $125 each, that's 12 million. So 35 million minus 12 million. That means we would all have, as a combined total in the market, $23 million that we could be spending in helping the secondary market post boxes. Instead, that money vanishes. It vanishes.
Well, no. It goes into one particular pocket.
Yeah.
That money didn't disappear.
Yeah. But
that money, the majority of that money.
Sorry. So yeah, the money went to Channel 5. I get it. But a lot of that money went to the LGSs, which is great. A lot of that money went to different places. But what it did is it left BAB. It left Flesh and Blood. It left our ecosystem. It left the pockets of the consumers of the game. And now everyone's wondering, why did prices crash? Well, $23 million just disappeared from the market over in 2 months. $23 million gone. Million with an M. That seems like a lot of money to me. But anyway, just like, man, I did that math. I was like, good. And that's on an average of $350 a box. But so
on to 1K. Continue.
I just feel like everything feels different post Mon. My point there. Everything feels different post Monarch. And I believe own the things that you feel joy for. And like Monarch doesn't bring me joy. Crucible brings me joy. So going back to that. All right. What do you want to talk about next?
My joy.
What do you want to talk about next?
My joy right here, baby.
All right.
I only want to talk about Metazoo. But
Can I restate that 125,000 boxes is not the issue?
Sure. Okay. No, everybody stopped listening 5 minutes ago. But that's fine.
Okay.
All right. Magic the Gathering. A couple things. Ultifox gets wrecked by Hasbro. Hasbro put up two basically defensive board members to try to fence out Ultifox's board members. I still think this is nothing but negotiation BS. Like I don't think that's what I would expect. I think it's a little bit of a dirty move by Hasbro, to be frank. It's not like it's not like illegal or nasty. It's just like it's a little maybe that's not playing nice. I did want to address a comment that somebody sent me from the comments on YouTube. Somebody sent me a comment from YouTube. They screenshotted it to send it to me because I won't read it. And they said, and this person wrote, basically, Ultifox is out to lunch. They're only putting in $100 million, 2.5% of the company. There's no way that they can force their will with that small percentage. And this is both very right and very wrong. They don't own nearly enough shares to matter. But I don't matter, and God knows Louis doesn't matter.
I have 5 shares. I matter.
Yeah, Louis really doesn't matter. The people who own the hedge funds who own a trillion shares of Hasbro.
What's a trillion?
I mean, I don't know what Vanguard's at, but I'll bet you Vanguard owns a lot of Hasbro for different people. If they
more or less than 10,000,
huh?
More or less than 10,000.
Oh, way more.
Okay.
Way more. But
okay.
if they recommend to the people who are in their fund that they vote a certain way, they tend to do it because people tend not to care about this stuff. That's how you can get votes very quickly. There's 6 or 8 people that really matter for this stuff. And those 6 or 8 people are all you need to convince.
Yeah.
So Ultifox alone doesn't matter. Rudy alone doesn't matter. The question is, can they convince people who do matter that this is that Hasbro's on a bad trajectory? And listen, if you're a hedge fund and you own Hasbro, you've gotten wrecked.
Yeah.
You have not performed with the market.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I think that's to me, that's a pretty, I'd pick up the phone if Ultifox is calling. If Taco Man calls me, I'll pick up the phone and say, hey, let's go grab a Crunchwrap Supreme, and you can tell me why Hasbro's screwing up, because they're not performing with the market. So I don't know. I still think we're in this weird negotiation phase. Nothing really cooked yet. I don't think this week. It's just a bunch of corporate BS.
More importantly than that, in my opinion, is the Magic the Gathering Pro Tour.
Big Pro Tour, big prizes, regional areas. One store in particular might be a regional tournament.
I'll come to it.
Were you invited to it?
Yeah, I'm always invited to your store. I haven't opened. I have a key, right?
You were invited to my store. Then you stood me up. That is true.
I assume that my key to your store is on its way in the
I don't have the key to my
you're
store.
Sending me. So I think that the Pro Tour, I said this earlier, this is the biggest Flesh and Blood.
You are so proud of this line. You are look how much you are beaming, ready to say this line.
The biggest of all the news this week. We had Monarch print run numbers. We had 3 banned and restricted announcements. The biggest information this week for Flesh and Blood was the reinstatement of the Magic the Gathering Pro Tour. Yeah. Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Well, to me, it shows a couple of things.
By the way, I'll get your reaction live on camera here. I sold for $5,800.
That's way more than I thought it was going to sell for.
I know it is. You thought nobody was going to bid on it at the end of the day. That's crazy.
For the last one sold for.
Yeah.
Roughly, right?
Yeah. Private sale of $6,500. So down $1,000. But anyway, Pro Tour.
$1,000 here, $1,000 there.
It's really only $700.
Yeah. Come on. Stop fudding.
After fees, it's $1,200, but who's counting?
Stop fudding. I think they're viewing this as a way to kind of fence out Ultifox and be like, look, we're taking some of your ideas.
No,
you don't think so?
No.
Why are they bringing this back then?
This has been in play long. Well, maybe they knew about the Ultifox stuff longer.
They knew about the Ultifoxing for a while.
Okay. I don't care if any of that. I'm
That's
off
all
the
I care about. I care about that.
I know. You're like on an Ultifox kick, but like
I am.
Can we just talk about the Pro Tour without that?
Fine. Go ahead.
Go
talk about your Pro Tour and give me your line again. So I can hear it again. Yeah, give me your line again. Go ahead.
No, I'm not giving you the line. This is big, and it's lots of money. It's like not like I honestly thought that they were going to do something like this and it be like a gimmicky thing.
No, they're right.
In. Like they were going to be like, hey, look, we're throwing a Vegas tour. Blah, 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 blah. Look, Fab, we can do this too. We had 5,000 people here. But like instead, this is like a real thing. Like this is regional. This is
real deal Holyfield.
You're going to start seeing Star City Games, SCG start doing content again, I think, on this stuff. Like this is going to be this Fab needs to start getting things in line. We can't have this is why like the 3-banner restricted announcement thing frustrated me so much, because like you've got competition. Josh said this on our podcast. I thought it was really good. He was like, look, like stores, people who are taking a risk on you, YouTubers, like we are, there's things to lose now. Somebody can take this from us now. Before there was nobody could take this. Nobody could take it from us, but now it's time to like step up the game and be better. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to the Magic Pro Tour because I'm not a pro player. This means nothing to me. But from
I'm about as professional as Magic as I am in Fab.
Yeah, from a professional YouTuber, this scares me.
Are you a professional YouTuber?
Yeah. What else would I be? Unemployed?
Oh, God, this is what a professional YouTuber gets you. God.
This is where
pick a different career, kids.
In the alternative TCG world, this is. Unfortunately,
where's Enlisted Leaf? Where's Leonhardt? I gotta get them up in this piece.
Look, man, we got Legions. We got like this is
on the Much Better podcast today. Jordan wanted to talk about Legions, and I was like, "What is happening?"
Legions
right now?
Is starting to pick up, baby. I sell more Legions bundles than I do any other product on my website that's not like on a release weekend. Like obviously I sold more Metazoo like on release weekend, but like from like a
other than when games release, they don't sell as much. That makes sense.
No, like from a non like promotional.
Are you sold out of Wilderness?
I have boxes still. But other than that, yes, I know. My point was like when it's not a release time.
I would like you to know I also sell more Legions than boxes I'm sold out of.
Oh my gosh. You don't sell Legions. You don't
I sell as much as the box I'm sold out of.
Magic Pro Tour going to spice things up, and I think going to put pressure on LSS to do some things better. So hopefully it does. Yeah, I love that you're just not saying anything because you already have been so negative on the podcast. You're trying to be positive, so you just don't say anything.
I'll be honest. This has been.
I know, dude. You feel burned.
Nobody wanted this game. I took the game.
I get it.
I was the largest store to support. I still hold more events than any other store. And I had to beg distro for boxes and get cut by more than 70%. Meanwhile, the print run goes up 3 times. I don't feel burned by Monarch. I was burned by Monarch. I'm on the 1K.
Okay, everyone. Let's move on. Did your Hawaiian shirts all survive the burn? Are they still all okay?
No, they're steaming today. I changed into the red just to show I was hot tonight. I'll be honest. God. I was like, this will show my anger streak.
All right, let's talk about something a little more.
Somebody asked me this tonight. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about your love of life in a minute, Logan Paul. Somebody asked me tonight, like how I'm feeling. Like you seem angrier. And I was like, I said, like, I'm angry. I said, like, I know, I don't remember the last time I was this angry. I said, but like more importantly, I don't remember the last time I was offended. I don't. It takes a lot to offend me.
Yeah.
You know this. You're awful to me. It takes a lot to offend me. It takes a ton.
Pretty
to
sure there's
offend me.
nothing I could ever say to you that would offend
No, like I have a very high offense threshold.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I and like this was offensive.
And okay, so I meant to say this earlier. Now we're back on Monarch for numbers again. I meant to say this earlier. I was not surprised, and I don't think you should be surprised. All right, part 4, the Pokemon.
I want to bring me happiness.
The
Look at this
Pokemon
pen.
Illustrator.
Look at this pen.
Yeah, Babe the Blue Ox, beautiful.
Love it.
This is a lighthearted conversation for the episode. Pokemon Illustrator.
Let me
Logan
tell you
Paul.
why this enrages me. No, go ahead. I'm just kidding.
Logan Paul, Pokemon Illustrator. PSA
5.25 million.
Dude, there is so much shadiness about the PS10 Illustrator card.
Is there really? Yeah. I don't know any of this.
So the Illustrator card.
Wait, hold on, Gary. Put the story in the comments below. Put the real deets that we were going to mess up. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's probably true. Actually.
Yeah, Gary's going to absolutely correct you in the comments.
The Illustrator card is like a super rare card, super hard. It's always had value.
It is. Correct me if I'm wrong here. It is like the rare card for Pokemon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was submitted back before everything, right? Like way back when submissions were $5. It was submitted like a bunch of times. Like it kept getting a 9. It kept getting a 9. Like they submitted. I don't remember. I don't know if they actually know the exact number. But it was like resubmitted, and then hit the 10. Which was and it was always done at the $5 level, which it shouldn't have been. It should never have been able to get through. But it was back when PSA didn't care about Pokemon cards, so that like it just kept getting resubmitted at a $5 level, and then it got like hundreds.
So
of
what
times.
People aren't putting together on that is that goes by level of insurance. So if that package had gotten lost any one of those times they submitted it, you would have gotten like $250.
Yeah. So it was that was a submitted. So people don't even know what we're talking about. Logan Paul rolled into WrestleMania, which I didn't know was still happening.
What?
I'm not a
Stone
wrestling
Cold
fan.
There.
I don't know who that is. I'm not a wrestling fan. I don't like things that are fake.
My favorite member of LSS, Alan.
Yes.
He is a huge wrestling fan.
He's also my favorite member of LSS. Is a WrestleMania
He's
fan.
a big wrestling fan.
I'm aware of that.
Triple H was there to say goodbye.
I don't know who any of these people are. Anyway,
what is
Logan
wrong?
Paul. Logan Paul was there, and he rolled in with
we're both now in our 30s, but they're very different sides of 30.
Rolled in with a fire outfit that looked like he was in a I don't know. It looked cool. It's like not something you would ever. It's like
how would you rate his fit? Continue. Go ahead.
When you play a video game and like the characters walking around in some like giant outfit and you're like there's no way that could actually be worn. It looked like that. But most importantly, the PSA 10 Pokemon Illustrator card on it. So I think this is always good to get TCGs in the limelight. It also was very, very apparently just a ploy to pump his new NFT share owning of a Pokemon cards, which was interesting. But
what would you pay me for 1/4 ownership of a Monarch box right now?
Yeah, that's actually what we wanted to have a conversation with the audience of is we're gonna fractional share our Monarch first edition our Monarch first edition bags into NFTs.
I think it's cool. Like I listen, like I think it's really he has probably the most influence of anybody over the Pokemon market by far.
Love him or hate him, he does.
Oh yeah. And like I will not be surprised at all, especially if like the high end Pokemon starts to moon again.
Well, the high end Pokemons has not gone down.
It went down a little bit. That's not.
We just had the highest sale of a PSA 10 Charizard, I think, ever, like a couple weeks ago.
Are you sure about that?
Mm-hmm. I just said it on the podcast, so it has to be true. No,
Mon to 1K. Mon to 1K. I got it.
It was like 350,000 or something like that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I'm talking like there's high end, which is like
no. I agree. I'm talking about the very high end.
There's like high end, which is like things that you and I dream about having. Well, maybe you can have a first edition Charizard.
Don't
like,
you actually have a first edition?
Yeah, but
Charizard?
like I got very, very lucky to find somebody who would trade me the first edition Charizard.
You traded them a bunch of Monarch cold foils.
It wasn't Monarch cold foils. It wasn't Monarch cold foils. Don't lie to the podcast. There were some Monarch cards in there, yes. Anyway, it was a large lot of various items.
Dude needs to go home and bathe in acid because you did him dirty.
No, I did not. This announcement did him dirty. Anyway, it was a large bag of things. Yeah. So anyway, but like the high end, like the Logan Paul money, like that doesn't even count. But that has not.
There's not enough for data, right? Like, I mean, like
there's just not enough.
What's a PS10 Illustrator worth? Call Gary, call Logan, and call the other 4 investors who can afford it and ask them.
I don't even know if Gary has one. Like
there's only one, right? PSA 10.
Yeah, I think there's one PSA 10. But like the point is at that level too. Like when Logan Paul buys a card for $5 million, he's not selling it for $2 million.
No,
you know what I mean, like it doesn't matter what the rest of the market's doing. If you want to buy that card, you got to give him some money. You know what I mean?
I don't. Can you ever like maybe I'll put up this fractional reserve thing for some publicity, but like
no. Well, so this is why I said that. So the one of the main cards on the fractional share thing, which basically, I mean, it's an interesting idea.
I like the idea. I think that's cool.
They keep the cards in a vault. There's the owner of the card then fractions it off on the blockchain. You can own a percentage of said card on the blockchain. You get to vote if the card gets sold or not. All this stuff. Anyway. But one of the main cards is a PSA 8 Pokemon Illustrator. So,
not even a 10.
Not even 10. Doesn't even count. It's like doesn't even exist. So,
like that card's probably worth a couple $1 million, though, right? I would think.
$5 million.
No. The 8.
The 10 is $5 million.
Right. What's the 8? You think?
I don't know. I mean, I guess we could look on what it is on the website, but I would say your multiplier is
like you research.
Your multiplier's got to be extreme between an 8 and a 10.
Really? I thought illustrators were all like stupidly expensive.
Yeah, but again, like
what's the name of this stupid website?
I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't even know if it's even open. You even
texted it to me earlier today. That's what I love.
I love your fat fingers typing on the thing. All right, let's keep going. This isn't irrelevant. We should at least Logan Paul doesn't need the commercial's great. It was in
a commercial.
Yeah, it was part of Impulsive. It's really funny. He's like, we have
Liquid Marketplace.
Marketplace. Yeah. Is there prices on there?
I'm working on it. I can only type one thing at a time with one hand while I hold the microphone.
I don't. Well, you should get a
great
mic.
Content.
You should get a mic stand. This is somebody's favorite moment in the podcast. If you're that person, leave us a comment because this is somebody's favorite moment in the podcast.
It could be all of yours. Our story, our process. Sign up. I don't see where they have it yet.
I think it's in beta right now. Like I don't think it's live.
How it works. It goes on to the tokenized. You can tokenize it.
Okay.
Marketplace. Oh, here we go. Oh, I don't have the VIP. Are you in the VIP Discord?
No, I'm not. Move on. We're moving on from this because I'm not editing this out. Move on with your fat fingers.
Right. So if you want that, it comes out March 29th, which I
already passed.
It's already out.
We're giving a lot of confidence to Liquid Mark. I do like the name because it does make those higher end stuff more liquid.
Yeah.
Like that's actually like a very valid something like this in the TCG space could actually imagine if you could own, if back when hearts were 50K, if you had the ability to sell a heart to 100 people at 600, would that be $600? Now you make 10K and they get to own a heart and they never thought that, there's ways that this could be good if it's not abused. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, let's move on to the Metazoo Minute.
Whoa! Wilderness is pumping. Goat is goat for a reason.
Yes.
2 things. I got to call out the goat here. Goat, You gave the deets to Rudy.
Yeah.
About what was in the secrets in the box.
He just doesn't even care about our podcast at all.
And not your favorite podcast.
Yeah, Rudy watches our podcast. Rudy heard you call him an asshole on our podcast, and we don't even get the alpha information.
I called him an asshole, not goat, not goat. We can make that clear.
I'm not goat. I would never.
Okay, good. Yeah. All right. Good.
So anyway, moving on. What's your second?
So there are some secrets in Wilderness.
Well, let's talk about what happened first.
Okay, what happened is George was exactly right.
George told the market.
George told all of you that this is a Pokemon release. Stores get boxes, scared hands dump fast, and they dump quick, and they dumped fast and quick.
Did you see the volume of purchases that night?
It was insane.
I would love to see the analytics behind TCG Player. Like, I really wish that they shared that. That'd be amazing. But like the amount of boxes that got sold, even at like $95 a box, it was insane.
Yeah, I mean, like, this was a Pokemon release, which is exactly what I said this in the podcast. I said this in private conversations. This feels like a Pokemon release. People are getting a lot of boxes. They're dumping a lot of boxes, and then the market will stabilize. And that seems to be where we are. The market seems to be stabilizing around 108 to 115-ish, I would say. Is that about right?
Yeah, I think we probably had a little bit of a wave of product come in again.
Yeah, like, it won't shock me if this goes to like 100, 205 this week. But like, I told that, I guess I don't know. It's like, it's very frustrating because like,
it's frustrating to see people dumping.
Well, it's frustrating to see people dumping. It's also just like, you guys, like, this felt obvious to me. I'll be honest with you. Wilderness is a great product. This was before we knew about the secrets, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Well, I will say, from a perspective of like what's happening before we saw the secrets and the golden ticket, it was like, okay, what's the secret sauce? You know what I mean? Like Nightfall, I was like, it glows in the dark. To me, that was the secret sauce. We had box hoppers in CN2, which, whatever, CN2 happened. Box hoppers are cool, but like, it makes sense to me what happened with CN2. But CN, was it, what did CN1 have? Did they have box hoppers?
Box hoppers,
yeah, it had the box hopper, right?
Ink.
I can't remember. I haven't opened a CN1 box in too long. I should do that. I should do a CN1 box soon. Anyway, but it didn't feel like it had it yet until Rudy posted the golden ticket thing.
And this is where all you young whippersnappers need to take a lesson.
This is not me. I'm 30. I'm not young anymore. I also didn't dump my product. So
correct. When you look at a product, don't just pay attention to the roadmap that the company lays out.
Continue.
I will.
Just judging you while you talk.
Pay attention to the person who wrote it. Because I did not know that there were golden tickets in Wilderness. I did not know that Jolly Green Giant was in Wilderness. Officially not Jolly Green Giant.
You knew there was going to be a secret rare. Yes, the golden ticket to me is the spice. And I'll tell you, can I tell you why?
No. But I did know this. I knew Goat would not let us down. I knew Goat. I mean this. It is amazing to me how much he understands what drives the TCG market. Because now my players who even have open enough boxes already to get a full play set, they're ripping. They're ripping.
Yeah.
Like, he understands consumer behavior. And like, to me, like, I always tell this to new stores, not just TCG stores, but like when I do consulting, when I'm part of startups and they want to have customer facing, I'm like, nothing matters except for the customer. That's all that matters. Because that will make up for everything wrong you do. If your customer leaves happy, if your customer leaves excited, if your customer leaves wanting more, you're going to succeed. And I think and Mike gets that. Every box of Wilderness feels good to open. I will warn, let me put a little warning here, Dr. Louie, if that's all right.
Oh, they've seen it on my channel.
You have lost some weight, by the way. I just noticed that.
Yeah, thank you. They've seen this on my channel, not the weight loss. That's spikiness.
It's not spikiness, I don't think. It's true randomness. I opened up a case today. I got 4 boxes that were pretty normal. 1 box I got rickety wrecked by, just like New Zealand will get wrecked at the Pro Tour. And then the next box was like, oh my God, how did I hit every good card but 2?
Yeah. No, 100% it is.
And my golden ticket.
More importantly than anything,
yeah,
is that all the products seem to be equally spaced. Now, I did have I opened up a case of blister packs for somebody on the channel. A case is 24 and they got 22 reverse hollows in their case. But I think as a whole, if you look at the products, they are all very accurate and even.
It's true random. It's true random. I love it. I love true random.
I will give the benefit of the doubt to people that yes, I think this should have been from the beginning, right? Nightfall should not have had the issue that it had with spellbooks, but it is very important that Mike is listening and is fixing problems. I'm always okay with problems if companies are going to do the things that they need to do to fix them. So I think that's a huge win. Additionally, you heard me last week, I was very frustrated by my theme decks, right? So on the podcast on Friday, I was very frustrated with theme decks. I hadn't had them. I think we were recording on Wednesday or Thursday. I messaged Mike. I got half of from one distributor. We won't talk about the other distributor. I got basically half of my theme decks in on Monday. I had them. They overnighted them to get them. So again, there were some frustrating things. And then I also was able to order more from the distributor that will be here this Friday, I think.
Yep.
To make up for the ones that the other distributor claims is not. Anyway, don't want to get into it.
That claims are not in the country yet.
Yeah. While the other distributor gets me the product, has them at my door, and I'm texting with my rep, and he is telling me that they aren't in the country. I took a picture. I said, really? Because here they are. And so this is, I want to go back to this statement of direct to consumer. Because last week we were very frustrated by that whole interaction.
Yeah.
I will say I am still frustrated by the way it was communicated, because it was communicated as DTC. And from very much conversation with Mike, it's not really direct to consumer. It's direct to store, basically. It's kind of the idea where having partners, there will be some other elements of it, and they're already doing direct to consumer through their website, but the idea is to create partnerships with you and me that look like the partnerships that would be to card shop, blah 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 blah, or would be to Rudy. But all these people, everyone, all the LGSs that want to carry the game, that matter and that are really pushing the game, and have those relationships directly so that we can get product. And when we have an issue, I don't have to be told that my theme decks that you are waiting for, the theme decks that my customers are waiting for, are in China. They'll be here in a few months. They're not. They are here. I have them. And Mike and his direct to me will be able to accomplish that in a much healthier way. This is a solution to the distribution model. And I wish that Mike would have said that up front. It would have been a lot less. But I will give you credit where credit's due. I should just blindly trust Mike. I have a problem blindly trusting people.
I gotta trust the goat. There's a reason they call him the goat. But if you don't call Mike the goat, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Let me just be honest with you here. If you ever see him and you're like, hey, are you Mike? He could just slap you.
He should change.
I see him oh my God, it's the goat.
He should change his Discord name to Goat.
Yes. Let's not change it to the lion. If you want to know, my position on what Mike has done, I already like moderately supported it last week. I'm all in. This week
it's on video. You were like, what's going on with the DTC stuff?
No,
like, listen, the announcement was not great. The way that it was communicated was not great.
Wait, boo boo.
Why can't we just agree with that? That's not like we all blew it up out of proportion.
Well, I'm the one that talked to Goat about it. I came here and settled you all down last week. When you and other boo boo were boo booing it up and fudding it up, I was here calming everybody down.
You are the worst. You're the
best.
Worst. You're the absolute worst. Your rewriting of history is brilliant.
They can go back last week and see it, baby.
Okay.
So my point, before I was rudely interrupted, might I add, was that if you ever want to know why games need to have a deeper, a more in-depth hand, a more micromanagement hand in distribution allocation, look no further than both the Wilderness release, candidly, with like one distributor. Today we're filming this on Wednesday. I got my boxes this morning. Or look at the Monarch release.
Yeah.
If I think that the more the games focus on who's getting my product, the better off we'll be.
Yeah. Well, and consumers, I mean, like, look, at some point, probably relatively soon, in my opinion, Monarch and Wilderness are going to be about the same value. If I was a betting man,
1K.
If I were a betting man, if I were a betting man, I would say that they'll probably be relatively the same price point.
My gut is like by the end of the month.
But like one of those could have started and what was it, $23 million? So essentially by allowing the boxes to gradually go up and disclosing the print run numbers ahead of time, like Mike has inserted $23 million into the Metazoo community. I want to,
and he's also done something a lot more important to me. He's leveled the playing field.
Yeah.
You know what Sasso knows, what I know. What I don't like about the fab markets, and the same thing happens with Magic. You have these idiots who come in and do these stupid buyouts that never work.
Mm-hmm.
They artificially increase the price for a short period of time. Sometimes a longer period of time. Like there was a huge buyout of Alpha a little while ago which started the craze. And now here we are. They grew the market too fast, and there weren't enough people on the back end to support those prices. We saw a bunch of, silly people, frankly, buy out Bravo to $220 and then yell at you when you said the price was $220, and now it's $100, and it's not even Living Legend yet.
Right.
What Mike does by announcing the print runs ahead of time is roughly how many cards there are.
Everyone knows.
Everyone knows.
Yeah.
So there's the buyouts, the silliness, the market manipulation doesn't really happen. The market's organic. Now it can be organically good or bad. That's a different discussion, right? Markets can go up or down still, but it doesn't give a small group of morons too much power.
People argue against the early print run numbers because they say, well, people can just do exactly what you're saying. People can just buy out and create a position in the market based on like an artificial thing. But at some point, it's not, that doesn't scale. Like, and I think like 100,000 boxes, even 50,000 boxes for Nightfall, you would have to have some pretty dang deep pockets to carve out like 1% of a 50,000 print run thing. Like to be able to really affect the market in that negative way that people are implying. I think for the new card games that are on Kickstarter, it's like we have 2,500 Kickstarter boxes, and then it's going to be all first edition boxes. Like that is where you get this shenanigans happening, where people are, manipulating the market. But at a print run that big, I don't think you can manipulate it. So I think that's good. I think it's all organic. It's crazy to me. This year, you could not tell me that the last 12 months were going to go in the way that the last 12 months have went.
I want to go back. Is there a time machine?
No, you love it. You got Metazoo.
I had Metazoo a year ago.
No, you didn't.
That's
Dude,
I did.
listen,
Kickstarter came out.
Yeah, but you weren't a part of the Kickstarter. Think about
I bought the Kickstarter boxes from the first release, though.
Yeah, but think about we're like a year out from Metazoo First Edition. Think about how much has changed. It's baffling. We should do a story.
First edition or second edition?
Huh?
First edition. Boom.
Open it. What's your box topper? You won't do it. What's your box topper? You won't do it. Come on, baby. Right. Come on, give the people what they want.
Wasn't.
Huh?
I thought it was falling, but it wasn't. I was falling. I would fall to save the first edition box. Don't worry, everybody. That's easy.
Anyway, it just seems like so much has changed in the last year in the TCG world.
A lot. It's a very different year.
I don't know how to handle it. Like, I don't know. It's like baffling to me. It's like,
I do.
Yeah, I know. By the zoo. I get it. But it's all crazy. Anyway, what else we got to talk about? How many Pink Club boxes do? What? And more importantly, why?
Don't. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing. I'm not answering. I'm not answering.
Turn your camera. Let's see it.
I'm not doing it.
Turn
no,
it.
I'm not doing it.
Come on. Come on. Let's see it.
I have more than 150 of each. I have more than 150 of each set of pins.
That's crazy.
I love them. I don't wear pins. Why did I buy this?
You're hilarious. Okay, that's it. We got anything else? You have like the most random assortment of crap within arm's distance. I've got somebody's Metazoo opening. That's it. That's all I got. Everything else is now it's random. What are you doing opening draft boxes of Kamigawa?
It's set box.
Oh, yeah, that's a little better.
No. Collector or bust.
Yeah.
You got some Kamigawa headed to you.
Some of us have the real stuff. I have a Japanese. Huh? I have a Japanese one back there somewhere. I have I love this product so much.
I know you do.
I want to open all of them and hit the neon ink. My goal in life right now is to open a neon ink before Rudy on camera. But I don't have I don't have money.
I have a couple more boxes than you.
I don't have money or patrons who want to buy a box opening. So my goals,
those two things seem important to.
As in a lot of the goals of my life, like becoming a professional skateboarder, it's just never going to be accomplished. So
you're a professional YouTuber.
Everyone, if you are still watching this, do yourself a favor. If you have HBO Max, go watch the Tony Hawk.
Oh my God,
documentary.
He won't shut up about the stupid documentary.
I went to sleep watching it last night, and I woke up at like 4 a.m.
Land Before Time again. Now I'm sad.
I fell asleep watching it, and I woke up at like 4 a.m. and I just like watched it. Have you ever done that? You fall asleep at like 1 a.m. watching something, and then like you're like, oh man, it's 4 a.m. Oh, but I'll just go back and start.
Yeah, it's like the LSS press release remix.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. Hope you enjoyed your stay here at May the Zoo be with you. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, or stop following us if you hate us now based on this episode.
I couldn't care
let us know what you think about the Monarch print run numbers in the comment section below.
Comment your favorite cryptid below.
Oh, I like that. If I want to know if you could
why
be
is
a
it
cryptid.
Squonk?
Yeah, why? Yeah. What is your favorite cryptid and why is it Squonk?
Squonk is the best cryptid. I have a Squonk pin. Want me to get my Squonk
Just because he looks like you. Is that why you like Mike so much that he put you in his game?
Well, he shaved his head like me.
All right, goodbye.
Did you see the token that's like the Topps card but like different?
No.
Oh my! No, it's in my car. Mike has a token. Hold on, I sent.
Yeah. I have a bunch of them right
good.
Here.
So good.
This one.
I love it. I love it.
There you go.
This is all right.
It's like the most common token too.
Want me to embarrass myself?
No, I don't. You took all of them from the pile at your shop. I don't want to know about that. Goodbye, everyone.
I took all of them. This is amazing.
You can give it to your Mike Shrine. He's gonna do
no entiendo. I think you mean Goat Shrine.
Goat Shrine. Bunch of goats. Yeah, it doesn't look anything like Mike. It's not a goat. What the heck? All right. Goodbye, everyone. May the zoo be with you. Remember, be kind to the people around you. And I don't know. Have a good day or something.
You didn't even end with "and may the zoo be with you," so I can say "and also with you."
And may the zoo be with you.
Again, remix.